There's a part of you that's not a part of that, and this is the bit that I always come back to, isn't it? And that part of you is free. It's free of that madness. So you're not a hopeless case. Don't think, there's no way back for you. Actually, there's a part of you that's never ever been caught by any of it, and that is fantastic. How is that for liberation? To know that there's a part of you, and all your neurotic stuff that you're caught by, and all your lack of self-esteem, or your negativity, this burden of self, how you don't like yourself, all of that stuff there is a part of you that's not a part of any of that. And that should be something to lift the spirit, to inspire that I'm not a hopeless case. I haven't gone beyond the point of no return. That there's no way I can get out of all of this. As we do, and I know this with the negativity that comes into the minds of practitioners when they've been applying themselves to this for a while. And say, well, nothing's changed, nothing's happening. I'm a hopeless case. I've got no chance. All that negativity. You can just ponder for a moment. There's a part of you that's never been touched by any of your world, and it's waiting to be discovered. You don't make it. It's there whole and complete. And it's so close, you can't see it. It's not buried somewhere. It's not 6 foot in the ground. It's closer than you think. And I think that's a fantastic something to reflect upon as an inspiration, that none of us are hopeless cases. We make ourselves that way. We say that we bring this negativity and I can't change and stuff. We create that. Well, who's the one who's creating that? Eh? Don't think it's the real you, because you don't think that way. It's the very world that you've created, that you've got caught by, is just reinforcing itself in that way. So that it doesn't like itself. But it doesn't matter if it doesn't like itself, as long as it keeps feeding itself. The more it doesn't like itself, the better, because then you become even more entrenched. So you buy into it. And it's the world that's feeding the world. And that world is just a creation. That's not the real you at all. And all that negativity and all that, living in the past and living in the future, you identify with it. Well, this is me. I've been like this, and then now I'm going to be like this, like that. That's just a fabrication. And that fabrication is just reinforcing itself all the time, and you buy into it because you think that somehow you're separate from it, this world that you get sucked by. And then that sort of self thing is the victim of this thing, sucked in by it. Well, this self thing and that thing you get sucked by are one. They are not two. So you're a victim of yourself, and keep reinforcing yourself. Somehow you've got to lift yourself out of that. Otherwise you just play the game and just reinforce, and on you go, forever and ever. You have to lift yourself out of that somehow. How are you going to do that? You do that by discovering that part of you that's not a part of that. And you have to become familiar with that, because even that part, that that other part, the self part and the will part, thinks that that part is also a part. That's also mind. This is me. But you stay with it long enough, don't buy into that. You'll see if it's really that way, or whether you're actually discovering a part of you that's free of all of that nonsense, and free of me, free of the ego. And that's discover. It is so close. You think it's like maybe it's just a thought, an image or something that you know, wherever it is, that you've got some notion that it's off somewhere, or buried so deep, or whatever, that it's just something that's never going to be possible. It is so close, believe me, trust me, it is so close that you can't see it. That's why you don't see it. You can't see it, because it's so close. How crazy is that? But the way you can wake up to that, the way that you can see that, the way you can find that part of you that isn't a part of this incessant agitation that never lets up, the movie maker, that part of you that's not a part of that is discoverable by learning to be still, by learning to be simple. To be simple, simpleness is the skillfulness that brings stillness. And when you're still and you get familiar with that, and don't think that it's a possession of yourself, another one of my possessions, but just learn to stay with that. That will begin to open. And there'll be that part of you that sees and knows, that can wake up to the world that you create, and what you do to yourself. Not your mother and your father, and your boyfriend and your girlfriend and your boss, but what you do to yourself. You begin to, there's that part of you that's free from that. There's not polluted, not deceived. That can begin to see that, and see that the way out of all the morass that we're in, that you've got yourself in, is not to buy into it as best you can, to leave it alone. Not go, you start doing this reactive, all you're going to do is reinforce it. Is that you learn to, right, but don't buy into it. But you need to come to the stillness, because there's like waves that come crashing over you that are always trying to submerge you back in. So this is why we need a commitment to meditation, a commitment to this training, because all the time you're being sucked back in. Those forces are pulling you back into this madness that you get consumed by. So we have to keep coming back to that, find that place of stillness, and just remind yourself that this is you're home. You're at home. You're not in this crazy world. You're at home, and learn to return there. Return to come home, over and over and over. Every few seconds, every few minutes, whenever. Come back into that centre. And when you're back in that centre, that's not a part of this madness. Learn to trust it, open to it, take refuge, give yourself to it, on the cushion in your life. And what that means is to come back to whatever's in front of you. Your home, the moment is in the here and now, whatever it is. If you want a reference point, when you're caught by your stuff, and you're chasing, and you realise your home is this present moment. It's what you return to. So if you're drinking a cup of tea, then you drink the tea. That's it, you're home. You drink the tea, you're at one with the experience of drinking the tea. You're not in the past and in the future. You're where your true nature is, which is now. That's how it's so close.